Hi, my name is Juan Jose, and I tell us the horror story. At that time, my mother was having problems with a neighbor, which made her decide to rent our house and move to another very big and beautiful house. But it was spacious with cool rooms, a beautiful terrace, and a hook yard that led to a ravine on the banks of the Cauca River. The first thing I noticed when I went there was that the patio was planted with many palm trees that stood so tall that it was dizzying to stare at their flakes. And in the background there was also a huge mango tree whose years could be seen in the colossal roots that were anchored in the ground like the hand of a giant, whose skin were shells of a cracked and rogue bark that fell into large pieces. Its branches covered so much space that the atmosphere of that patio at any time of the days was that of a humid and shady place, where the dry leaves spread out in a vegetal carpet that sank every time one took a step, as if that were not enough to complete the gloomy atmosphere at about 5 o'clock in the afternoon. The coconut palm trees became a propitious place for countless fins to perch, with their wings opened at the top, and watching everything that happened in the patio. Sometimes they formed such a mess be jumping from one palm tree to another that we were suddenly surprised by the sight of them. We were suddenly surprised by the sound of coconuts falling violently to the ground, to the point that my mother forbade us to go out in that patio in the afternoon because one of those coconuts will kill anyone, but that was not the worst. I do not know what I did to do, but almost every Thursday the house was flooded with a pungent stench, smelled like an animal in a state of decomposition. We thought that having such a big yard under the leaves and dry branches, there could be iguanas, rats, or another dead animals. We thought it was something normal having the river nearby. However, there were days where the smell came so intense that we had to go out to look for where it came from. But we never found anything. I remember once my mom went to Medellin for a week, leaving me alone in the house. That time her farewell was somewhat curious because she stressed to me several times that before going to sleep I should close everything. very well, with insurance, no to leave the curtains tight, and much less to leave flip-flops on the terrace, as was my habit, and that for nothing in the world I should forget close the patio door. I took those days with tranquility until that night when watching the movie in my mother's room at about 1 a.m. I heard a woman's voice calling my name. Say the voice. What I did was to go out to the living room, thinking it was the neighbor from the window of the door that was next to our house. But I saw no one. The street was empty, barely illuminating an old and yellow spotlight that hung improvised by a wooden stick, already dry. I was standing there in front of the window looking at the street. I felt that behind me a presence emerged. I turned my head quickly, praying that I was a false premonition, and in fact there was no one. But when I was returning to the room, I looked at the curtain moved by the wind, and my skin bristled, and a strange tingling ran through my skull. At that moment, I heard a voice, Jose, Jose, again. This time I didn't go out to see what it was. I ran to bed and tucked myself in from head to toe and began to pray until I fell asleep. Several days later, my mother arrived, and I told her about the event, while, while laughing as if it were my own. I expected her reaction to be carefree, but the smile, the smile turned into a pale face when she told me in a very serious tone that she did want to tell me anything so I wouldn't be scared. And she told me that since the first day we were in that house, she had voices calling her name. But she started to praying, and everything went back to silence. That took away my peace, and from then on I tried not to think about it. Days went by. One Wednesday, when I came from the gym, I saw my mom stained with a pale face for on the sidewalk of the house, and the neighbor giving her a glass of water with sugar so she could recover the color. What happened to her? I asked the neighbor, but she did not know the cause of such an event. She said, I just your mom running towards the street. Sorry. She said, I just saw your mom running towards the street as if she was running away from someone. When my mother was calmed and we were alone, I asked her what had happened, and she said, while washing clothes in the patio, I felt that someone was looking at me from the wall of the patio, in middle of the trees. And when I raised my head to see what it was, I saw a totally black man, but black as coal, with huge eyes, even blacker. We did not look like a normal person, and with scaly skin like of a snake, as if were naked. And I could no move from fear, and after a while I ran, I ran out into the street. I perplexed, did not know what to think or how to react. In the midst of everything, I could only say to him, Mom, this doesn't look good. The next day, at about 7 a.m., my mother went out and I did not hear from her until 10 a.m. She arrived with a bag and that con- I saw that its contents were a bottle with water and a floated leaf. She immediately told me that she went to the village priest because they say that she was a person of faith and and that her project had great power. And that by that time she was already advanced in age, so she could hardly leave the British house. What he told my mother was to sprinkle holy water for 3 nights, and then recite the prayer that was on the paper. And she told me besides, and you have to have faith, because whatever is in the patio is not from this world. The 2 nights, everything went well. Mm, even the house had a calmer and cleaner air when my mother read that project. But the third night, things got too complicated. My mother recited the project, and when she reached last line, something would not let her finish. She started with a dry coat that barely her breath, and ended in thick and black vomit with tears of a blood. And the men and the black men showed up and killed my mother. I fainted and woke up in the house of the neighbor. They asked me what happened, but I never say anything. Only I know what I saw, and that's what, well, I will carry until the day I die.